Happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Halftime Thursday. Good to be with you. Gorgeous day outside. Sunny skies, flowers in bloom. Smells nice outdoors if you dare to go. Phil Elson here, along with my buddies Matt Smackdown Jenkins, Matty T in studio. Guys, how you feeling today? What's up? Is it sunny out that way? You
Beautiful.
Smell the flowers, hear the birds outdoors?
We do. The pollen is blowing in the air.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's all over my truck, and my truck's red, and it looks more like a mint green right now.
You know, I take some solace in the fact that as you know, life doesn't feel like we expect it to with everything going on, but at least we have this ridiculous pollen every single year, and that's one thing we can count on. Every late March, early April, across this lovely land of ours, it turns yellow.
But now I don't know if I have COVID-19 or seasonal allergies.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, can you still taste all of your food? Can you still smell?
Yes.
Okay, I'm told those are the things to look for first. So as long as you can
I
still
have
taste
the last
your food.
few pleasures in life.
Yeah, those are the last ones we have right now, okay? So just enjoy your food and enjoy your flowers while you can. 877-377-6963 on halftime today. We got a couple of guests. We've had to switch things up. Instead of Bob Holt coming on today, we're going to push Bob till tomorrow. Arkansas women's basketball coach Mike Neighbors joins us bottom of this hour. I want to get Mike on for like an entire 2-hour show because he could host that thing by himself. So just a 10 to 15-minute interview with Nabes doesn't necessarily suffice, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, and Connor Noland will join us bottom of hour number 2. We'd initially scheduled Connor for tomorrow, but here we are. We got him today. So we're able to adjust. That's what life's all about.
That's what we do.
That's exactly what we do. So topic to start on first, Arkansas basketball gaining a graduate transfer eligible to play next year, 6'9" Vance Jackson, another former New Mexico Lobo, joining the Razorbacks, just like Jalen Harris, who now is no longer a Razorback and is heading somewhere else. Jackson, theoretically, conceivably, replacing Mason Jones in the starting lineup at the position that he plays. From everything I'm gathering, reading about Vance Jackson, this is somebody, Smackdown, who can get extremely hot at times, score you 25 to 28 points, no matter the opponent, but also somebody that's been invisible with a number of single-digit games. Not a great defender, not a great rebounder, but certainly somebody that might be able to replace some of the firepower that you're losing with Mason Jones declaring for the NBA. I think Mason is a much better all-around player than at least what I'm reading on the statistics about Vance Jackson. But, hey, you get that three-point range back. That's certainly what Jackson does. I know he's tall. Look, it's 6'9", but I'm not sure if he necessarily plays at the sort of physicality and above the rim play that you would like to see from somebody 6'9". So I'm a little skeptical, but at the same time, this is somebody I think that's going to be able to score in the SEC.
Absolutely. In the past 2 years, he's averages 13 points a game. In 2018, averaged 13 points a game, 7 rebounds a game. Kind of dipped a little bit this season, 11 points and 5 boards a game. He'll be coming into a system that theoretically, kind of like you said, I don't think he's necessarily going to replace Mason Jones, but he's going to play a similar style like a Mason Jones did, getting to the rim and getting buckets the hard way, whether that be at the free throw line or knocking him down. He's a 65% free throw shooter in 2018. He did up that this past season, shooting 72% from the free throw line. So it's going to be I agree. I'm not completely sold, but he's going to be a good player. And you think with a kid that has 1 year left, It's going to let it all hang out, and probably Eric Musselman will do the best for him and his game moving forward, i.e. several of the players that's been on the roster this year.
Well, that's what you read from the quotes about Jackson. He said, he and Musselman know each other fairly well, competing against each other throughout the 2019 Mountain West Conference season. Faced him 2 times, and Jackson openly says, this is his last opportunity to put on a show at a higher level than he was playing in the Midwest, in the Mountain West, before hoping to move on to professional basketball. And look, this is one reason why you get players to come play for guys like Eric Musselman that coached in the NBA, that are able to scout you well enough to tell you what you need to work on to get there. But you wonder a little bit about Jackson, who, and you look at his line here. Look, he made 101 field goals last year. Almost exactly half of them were behind the three-point line. He is a good three-point shooter, 34% career three-point shooter during his 2 years at New Mexico, but about half his point total came from behind the three-point line. You read about Jackson, and you read that this is mostly a jump shooter. He's not somebody that's going to attack the rim too much. He's not going to do everything he can like Mason did to get to the foul line. And look, you're not going to find another player in the country that got to the foul line as often as Mason did, but that's what made Mason such an incredible scorer. The ability to shoot from the outside, drive to the rack, get to the line, and hit your free throws when you're there. That's what's going to attract the scouts to Mason Jones. With Jackson, this is somebody that's probably going to have to be guarded by someone who's not quite as quick as him. And I think this is the kind of player who can get on a real roll. When he's on fire, he really is on fire, and you want to feed him the ball as often as possible. But then, you look throughout, even this past season, there are a lot of single-digit scoring games, and some games where he's been described as being invisible. And you don't want to be an invisible player while you're out there for Eric Musselman. And here's the other thing, too, that we learned about Muss this last year. On a team where you really didn't have the capability of sitting somebody too often to make a point. You just didn't have the depth to do that too many times. Next year, I think you do have that kind of depth. And if you're going to play for Eric Musselman, you're going to defend. You're going to have to mix it up. It's not a matter of you've got to throw elbows and you've got to push people around, but you've got to buy in defensively to the effort that's expected at least 2 or 3 times a week. And that's the one thing I wonder about Jackson, if he really is somebody that is going to be a good defender in the SEC. He's not a steals guy. He's not a shot-blocking guy. And at his size, I think you probably could get a little bit overpowered by somebody that plays the forward position if you do have him guarding down on the blocks. But honestly, I'm trying to be picky here with this kind of stuff because this is somebody that has averaged over 12 points per game over a 2-year career at New Mexico. The Mountain West is good basketball. You know that for a fact. Not at the level of the SEC, but it's a good get for the Razorbacks. And now we're no longer allowed to complain about the team's lack of height, right? Next year it's like height to spare, so bring it on.
You bring much, and we're going to talk about this in the next time. You've got a team next year. We complained all year, but this year having the lack of height on the team, potentially your starting lineup next year could be over 6'5", where your tallest guy last year was 6'6", I think 6'7". Next season you're going to have 3 guys that are over 6'9", potentially. This is all skeptical at this point, but you're going to have a much different looking lineup. You're going to have a much taller lineup and theoretically a bigger lineup that you can get in there and get rebounds. And to kind of piggyback on what you were saying a minute ago, he was a single-digit scorer for most of the early part of his season at New Mexico this past season, only getting to double digits twice before December. And then as the year closed, he was a pretty consistent double-digit scorer for the Lobos.
Yeah, had 4 games with 20 points or more. Had about a handful of games with 4 3-pointers or more. We got some text coming in, thoughts about Vance Jackson. B.E. asks, how can Coach Muss run a 5-guard lineup when he's getting so many forwards? Yep, I don't think you're going to see the 5-guard thing next year. That's last season exclusively. John in Mountain Home texts in with a thought, thinks it's going to be slightly difficult for opposing guards to defend at 6'9". That's probably the case.
Agreed.
Yep, if that's the position he's going to play. But I'm just not sure if he's going to try to attack the rim against these. But it may be easier for him to get shots over some of the smaller guards that might be defending him. Jason in Frankfurt says that if he transforms his game from shooter to shooter plus slasher, just like Mason was, then he can prosper. Well, do you think somebody's going to change that much after being in college basketball for 4 years? He played 1 year at UConn, sat after a year transferring to New Mexico after those 3 seasons. I wonder if he's going to change much. You know, Mason, we saw from Mason, he was a slasher and attacked the rim even the first year at Arkansas, and certainly he got better at that the second time around. You don't want to think about him as a replacement for Mason Jones. What you saw from Mason last year was special. I'm not sure if you're going to see too many seasons like that. No, probably not. 877-377-6963. Halftime, right back.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
We're talking with U.S. Reed here on the Morning Rush.
Texas coach was Abe Lemon. He was kind of like a big man in the conference, smoking a big cigar and always bragging. And Arkansas fans, they really enjoyed getting on him. After we won that game, Abe Lemon actually came into the dressing room with a hog hat on. It was crazy.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hey, Tommy Kraft here from my good friends at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Hey, listen, the Northwest Arkansas Home and Outdoor Expo has been canceled, but Burton Pools and Spas is still having a big sale on hot spring spas. $3,000 in instant rebates on hot spring spas, or choose 0% financing for up to 36 months. This sale will run till the end of March. Check out the spas that start at just $26.95. Shop from the comfort, convenience, and safety of your home or office online at burtonpools.com. Then call or even FaceTime to get all the details from one of the professionals at Burton's about your favorite hot spring spa. It's all for you right now. $3,000 in rebates, or choose 0% financing for 36 months till the end of March on your new hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
This is ESPN 95.3. This is halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
67-66. Vandy's not going to call a timeout. We got an offensive foul. Saban Lee pushed off his 5th foul of the game, and Arkansas is going to get the ball with 8.2 to go.
Corey Evans, who was the national basketball analyst at Rivals.com, tweeted out about 20 minutes ago that an Arkansas transfer target for the basketball team, Trey McGowan's, has cut his list down to 5. McGowan's a starting guard for the Pitt Panthers last year, a sophomore, 6'2", would have to sit a year after transferring. He's cut his list to, it looks like he wants to play in the SEC. 4 out of the 5 teams that he's considering are SEC schools. They are Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, and Ole Miss. He's also considering a transfer to Nebraska. McGowan's would play conceivably the point guard position, average 11.5 points, dished out 118 assists, led Pitt with 63 steals. Not an especially good shooter, but definitely somebody that looks like can dish the rock a little bit. We'd have to sit a year, and we've been focusing more on someone that's certainly going to be starting for Arkansas next season, Vance Jackson, who made the transfer from New Mexico official yesterday. Just look at the stat line from Jackson last year, and again, you know he is a three-point shooter, and I'm not sure if there's much else. He grabbed 5 rebounds a game, which was second on the team for New Mexico, but I guess at 6'9", when you're averaging 27 minutes per game, you might expect more than 5 rebounds per game. I think he's going to have to get that average up a little bit. 28 steals, 14 more. Let's see, that's 23 more turnovers than assists. So, I mean, it's a good get. It's a good get. It's not a panacea for any problems for Arkansas, but you get a grad transfer with experience, and he might fit into that to this starting lineup. So, all right, so it's not going to be a problem with size any longer if you can just make a prediction as to what next year's starting 5 will be for Eric Musselman. So you're going to have Connor Vanover as your starting center. That's probably the easiest choice, right?
Absolutely.
7'3". And Isaiah Joe if he does come back. I'm not sure who else starts other than that. I mean, I think you put Jackson in the starting lineup. So you know Vanover, Jackson, and Joe would be your starters. All things being equal, and Isaiah forgoes this year's NBA draft. The other questions are you going to start Jalen Williams as a true freshman, 6'10"? You do have a player like Reggie Chaney available to come off the bench or start. I think Chaney has shown flashes that as long as you're able to get to practice in October and Chaney makes an improvement here and there, that's a guy that I think could start. And I'm not sure who's going to be your starting point guard next season. That's another part of it here. Some folks think you might get Devontae Davis at the starting position at point guard as a true freshman. Does Moses Moody maybe potentially bring the ball up? Will you have J.D. Notae as your starting point guard instead, the 6'2" transfer out of Jacksonville? So that to me is a little bit up in the air. But there's certainly one thing for sure here, SmackDown. There's going to be size amongst this starting lineup.
You've got size, and you're going to have shooters. Because I get all these guys can but with your bigs and your forwards, you can get to the basket. But nearly everybody on this lineup can theoretically shoot. Maybe not a Reggie Chaney and Ethan Henderson, but these guys can shoot. And what that'll do for a team like Arkansas is you can almost just spread the floor out and do a 4-out, 1-in with Vanover in the middle. Or, heck, you could even spread it out and just almost like dribble drive opportunities, too. There's going to be a lot of, and kind of like what Musselman wants, a lot of free-flowing, just kind of like give and take offensively for the Razorbacks. You can't beat size sometimes. I mean, and you've got it this year. I mean, theoretically, you've got a 7'3", a 6'10", and a 6'9" at your 3, 4, and 5 spots. That's going to win you ball games alone just on size's part. But you've got to knock down shots and get rebounds and do the other things that win games. But that's going to be a big step, and that's going to be one of the biggest differences that fans will see next season with the Razorbacks.
And this roster right now goes 12 deep. You know, we haven't seen J.D. Notae play yet. We haven't seen Baby Ayola play yet. He's the transfer out of Stetson, 6'9". And even with, a highly touted incoming class. You know, I haven't seen enough of K.K. Robinson to know whether or not this is somebody that's going to get a lot of minutes that first year. But, you know, Desi Sills has shown that he's somebody that deserves to get a look at potentially starting.
That's why I was going to put him at point guard.
But really, I mean, last year, at your best, this was a team that went 8 deep. And that's not an issue. Divvying out the playing minutes to keep everybody happy is going to be the issue. And you knew this coming into this season because you had 3 transfers sitting that came to Arkansas, I think, expecting playing time. And this great recruiting class of the Arkansas Fab Four that also, I think, is coming in here expecting to play. And then the holdovers, guys like Isaiah Joe and like Desi Sills and like Reggie Chaney. And Ethan Henderson at the end of the season was getting appreciable playing time. So divvying up the minutes is going to be, I mean, there are so many differences when you think about this from last year to this year, where size and depth were the biggest problems for the Razorbacks last season. And they're not going to be at all the problem next year. Not a bit.
I'll almost twist it just a little bit because if you look back at Noland's teams and those teams that were really good and were always there, he went 10-11 deep. Now, this is a completely different coaching philosophy from Nolan Richardson to Eric Musselman, but you need depth. And I think what this will do, it'll, super competitive practices, getting out, trying to fight for playing time. But also I think you could almost push your players harder in game because then it's not like Isaiah Joe's going to have to play 40 minutes a game, 38 minutes a game. He can play probably a 30-32 and have help coming off the bench where it's not like such a drastic drop-off on production side. That's asking a lot of like a Moses Moody or maybe Owl or any of the freshmen coming in here, but that's what you expect when you come to an SEC school. You're expected to perform, and especially in today's college basketball where starting 4 freshmen is almost the normal, i.e. Kentucky for the past couple years. So it can be done. I think this is more of a positive having that many bodies and that many being able to divvy out that many minutes more than it is a negative because this will come up huge for Eric Musselman down the stretch.
Any coach will tell you that's a problem that anybody would love to have. It's just
it's hard to do.
Well, you've got to know how to mix things properly so that the ingredients lead to a soup that tastes good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
B, that you're communicating with the entire team individually so that nobody gets too butthurt about not playing as often as they expect to play, and see them. It's also going to be a matter of, I think, some of these guys putting their ego aside sometimes and appreciating the thought that you have a deep, tall, talented team, and not everybody's going to get the sort of playing time that they expect, and sometimes that leads to incredible practices and players that feel they've got something to prove when they get on the court in a game. So, and I mean, look, the hype was already going to be massive for next year's Arkansas basketball team, and this just feeds the beast a little bit more. You know, when you get a legit 12 to 15 point per game scorer, I don't care from what level of basketball it is, and I think Note was the same thing at Jacksonville. This to me feeds the hype a little bit. That's not a bad thing. Hey, we need as much positive hype as we can get right now. So, and look, this is the way Eric Musselman. This is what we expected from Eric Musselman when he built Nevada in the 4 years there. He built them almost exclusively through the transfer market. I mean, he brought in a lot of high school players, but mostly that was a team that was built in as transfers. And we've seen him change his approach somewhat to mix things together here at Arkansas, where you can't be a program that's building on just transfers, I think, in the SEC, especially in a talent-rich state like Arkansas is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Arkansas fans expect Arkansans to be playing for the Razorbacks. You don't expect the entire team to be made up of kids from Arkansas, but this is this state is a diamond in the rough for basketball.
Absolutely.
Talent.
I mean, look at all the talent. I mean, heck, there's even one player that's not listed on here who probably should have came to Arkansas. He's going to Auburn. You've got that kind of talent. It's all there. I think to kind of piggyback off a point you were talking about earlier, putting like egos aside, I guarantee you at the beginning of the year, there ain't no way I would have thought, I'm sure you would too, Desi Sills volunteering or almost pushing for him to come off the bench rather than starting. And that's the kind of attitude you want out of players like that, and that's what Eric Musselman wants, putting your ego aside, doing what's best for the team, because honestly, and this is way out in front of me, we're months away from basketball coming back. This team has the talent to do something. I genuinely think that. And that's, I mean, I haven't seen Jalen Williams play just on high school ball. You've seen Vance Jackson in New Mexico. You've seen what Connor Vanover can do. We all know what Isaiah Joe can do. This team has the ingredients to put something together special for next season.
Who's going to get to the rim for this team next year? Who's going to be the guy that gets to the foul line, that finishes, inside the restricted area?
Yep.
Because I don't think that's Jackson. We've seen mostly that's really not Isaiah Joe. He can attack occasionally, but he's much more of a jump shooter, and specifically that deep three-point shot. Is Devontae Davis going to be the guy as a true freshman to attack the rim? Is that going to be what Moses Moody does? Desi likes to attack, but he also likes to sit back and shoot the three. That's what made Mason such a special player.
Right.
Not just that range, not just the fact that when he got to the foul line he made his free throws. It's that he scored in so many different ways.
Maybe a Jalen Williams.
I didn't see anybody attack the rim the way that Mason Jones did.
Yep.
In really the last 15, 20 years at Arkansas. That was something else. 877-377-6963 to get with us. BE asked about the NCAA and the transfer rule. Are they allowing the one free transfer yet? Nope, they haven't come out with that yet, but maybe in the summertime they will. Anyway, we've got Arkansas women's basketball coach Mike Neighbors coming up after the break. Stick around.
New Bud Light Seltzer, huh?
Yep.
And it tastes like a hard seltzer, not a beer?
Yep.
So it's light and refreshing?
Yep.
With a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
And 100 calories?
Yep.
You said this is Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
Well, I need to try it.
Yep.
Oh, that tastes great.
Yep.
Now, wait, are you just yupping me?
Nope.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
You're a small business owner, and there's nothing small about what you do. That's why Dell Small Business Technology Advisors give you trusted advice, one-on-one partnership, and tailored tech solutions like computers with Intel Core processors, servers, storage, networking, plus thousands of top-brand electronics, accessories, and software. No matter your technology needs, Dell is here to help your small business do big things. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak with an advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
Tommy Craft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith or Jim Malum in Charleston about Shelter's home insurance.
Trade Pros. Ferguson is committed to making business with us the easiest part of your day. Ferguson.com is designed to help run your business from the office to the job site by making your day-to-day activities easier with 24/7 account access, unmatched online inventory, and on-the-go account management. And with our Pro Plus customer loyalty program, you can earn points with every online purchase, redeemable for merchandise, event tickets, trips, and more. Sign up today at Ferguson.com.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine and Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Joe, for the record, gets it from the corner. Isaiah with the three. That's his 103rd of the year, and he sets an Arkansas record for made three-point baskets in a season.
Welcome back to Halftime, ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. It has been a couple of weeks since we spoke with him. It's been about, I guess, more than almost a month since I last actually talked with this guy in person. Arkansas women's basketball coach Mike Neighbors joins us here on Halftime. Nabes, how's quarantine treating you these days?
Well, not as good as the last time we spoke in person. We were in a really cool spot, getting to do cool things. So, but it's okay. We've, I think, gotten through the difficult part, and hopefully on the road to recovery.
I think so too. It really gives you an appreciation of how quickly things can change. It was 4 weeks ago that we were enjoying the SEC women's basketball tournament. We were enjoying darts. We were enjoying another comeback win against Texas A&M. I got to be honest. I mean, that feels like 2 years ago right now.
Yeah, doesn't it? I mean, we've been showing some clips and some various recruiting home visits and things like that, and it's like it doesn't even seem, because of the separation and just how abrupt it was, it just makes it seem twice as long as it was. And it still brings back some good memories, and we've had some cool moments with the kids going back and reliving the comeback and the trip down there. But it seems very abrupt and makes it kind of magnify how long it feels.
You're remaining in touch with your team over these last couple of weeks. What's it been like for them?
Initially, yes, a lot of conversation, just making sure everybody made it home, making sure everybody was safe, making sure everybody had as much information as they wanted and needed and could handle. All 16 of them were different. All 16 of them were landing at different places with how they felt about it and how they were dealing with it. So a lot of initial just checking in, making sure, a little extra, probably over the top, even more so than what I would have done had they been physically on our campus. When they're here, I kind of let them live their lives, and I check in with them as needed. So I didn't want to all of a sudden change that and make them think I was being overprotective or something was worse than it really was. So we tried to stay as routine-ish as we could. And then we let them have spring break. I wouldn't have talked to them or called them and bothered them on spring break, so I kind of told them we were here if they needed us. Some kids enjoyed their spring break. Other kids were ready to get back to work a little bit. So each one of the 16 have been different. But, yes, constant availability, but not constant conversation, not probably any more than what we had. And kind of letting them be the driver in that and just kind of be here for them when they need us the most.
Mike, you hit on something that that I think makes you stand out amongst coaches, and it's not like all coaches are antithetical to this thought. You let your players be themselves. You don't put down arbitrary rules as to what you expect them to be like. All of the personalities are different. I think you embrace that. I think you let your players be who they want to be on the court, off the court. You trust them to be grown ladies, and I think they respond for you in that case. Where did you come up with, how did you figure out, how you wanted to handle your players in this way? Because not every coach is like this.
Yeah, I was lucky in that first group of kids I had at Washington, Chantel and Kelsey and Bree and Katie and that group, Heather Corral, people that you actually know a lot, because you've been around some of these people now. Mm-hmm. I was a rookie coach their freshman year, and man, I had a way that I wanted to do it, and it wasn't working. What we were doing wasn't working. Having the rules and having this, everything I had been working on for my entire life, they said, Coach, this doesn't work. This is what we need to be doing. And I was vulnerable enough or stupid enough, I'm not sure which one we want to. I'm going to use the word vulnerable because it makes me sound more professional and more like it was my idea. But they were they coached me as much as I coached them. We think we'll be better doing it this way. Trust us. Don't take our phones up, at night. That was back then, that was the big thing for coaches to do, was to take everybody's cell phone at midnight so they would sleep. And I went the other direction and said, well, I'm either going to trust them or I'm not. Are they going to go to bed or are they not? And so I started rewarding the kids that showed up the freshest. And over a period of time, the more I trusted them, the more they trusted me. And we just started stripping things away like that, to the point that that's exactly what we do, and that's the filter I run it through with everything. Is this going to help our team? Is it going to help the kid individually grow? Is it going to help the team? Now, I don't want to be in distractions, and when they do lose, they never lose my trust, but if they ding it a little bit, we'll deal with it. But I don't want to take one of the players' cell phone who is going to bed on time, and they like to have their cell phone to go to sleep with. So using that as the answer to your question, we start using that in every shape, form, or fashion. And I've learned that if you'll trust these kids, they will please you more often than they'll displease you. So we have done that. And the other thing I can tell you, Phil, is I use the amusement park analogy a lot. When I go to an amusement park, I don't want to ride a bunch of merry-go-rounds. I want some roller coasters in there, and not too many, but I want a few roller coasters, and I want a few thrill rides. So I got a few roller coasters on the team. I got some merry-go-rounds, and I've got everything in between. And I think that's what makes for a unique team, and I think that's why sometimes we're late blooming. I think it's why we play our best basketball in March, because initially we're still kind of figuring out who's a roller coaster and who's a merry-go-round. But by the end of the year, we all kind of figure it out. We learn to tolerate each other, which is proven very valuable in this time. But hopefully we've given the kids some life skills and some confidence to go out and, like you said, be who they are and learn who they are and learn what works and what doesn't.
Talking to Coach Mike Neighbors here on Halftime. Coach, you talked about the end of the year. I just kind of want to go back to, I was there for the LSU game and then the opening rounds of the SEC tournament. And I remember just watching that game, specifically like the A&M game and maybe even the South Carolina game. That team never quit. The team never gave up. And I remember watching that. I was like, this team, and this before all this, everything happened, I genuinely thought this team could do something special in the NCAA tournament. And I'm sure from your perspective, this team could have done something in the NCAA tournament. It's a shame that we couldn't get to see it happen.
Well, put me in a room with how many ever coaches you want and whoever they are, and I will argue that I think we were a Sweet 16 capable team. I really do.
Me too.
And beyond. With the right draw, this team reminded me so much of the Washington team that went in as a 7 seed and went to the Final Four. We were starting to play together. We were starting to play good. We were starting to defend. We were really locked in. Everybody was happy. We were still healthy. And we were running into teams that might not have been that. We were running into some teams who were ready for the year to be over. They were ready to move on. They weren't enjoying practice still, and we were. So this group, I would get an argument with whoever you put in the room that we would have made it to the Sweet 16 with the right draw. And I think we were headed that way. I think we were going to be a 6 or a 7 seed, and with the right 2 or 3 seeds, even on their home floor, the SEC had prepared us for it. We played South Carolina 3 times. They were the unanimous number 1 end of the year. We'd played them 3 times to varying degrees of success, none enough to win, but enough to make us better. And we were beating LSU, we're beating A&M, we're beating Kentucky, we beat Tennessee. When's the last time anybody's ever been able to say that? And our kids were starting to gain some confidence. And I would have liked to have seen, but until then, it's going to be. Phil, we talk about it all the time. Due to the internet, there's no such thing as a great debate anymore. Now we can debate that. That can be an argument that a bunch of us coaches will have when we get together. Who would have won it? Why do you think that? How do you think your team would have done? And none of us are really going to know the answer, but there's going to be some cool debates.
And I think the other thing I noticed this year, and I really noticed it this year because the LSU game at the end of the year was my first women's basketball game. The atmosphere, my Lord, the atmosphere that y'all created, throughout the year, it just kept it seemed like it kept building and building and building. And then that LSU game, it was just as loud as a Razorback as a men's game, honestly. It was the atmosphere and the support that you guys are getting this year was something that I've never even seen before, and it's awesome to see. Yeah, you're right. Our 5,000 or 6,000 can sometimes get as loud as the 18 or 19,000 during a men's game because everybody's there and they're excited to be there. Yep. So our engagement, and it was really loud in there. I know exactly what you're talking about. We were having a hard time communicating with our kids, and our crowd coming back has been the difference in the Kentucky game, the LSU game,
the Tennessee game, the crowd was the difference. Our kids just get amped up when they see and feel that, and they play accordingly. I saw the articles in the paper that Andrew wrote about our attendance is up 96.6% in the last 3 years. And that just blows your mind. I was like, that's the best grade I've ever gotten on anything in my life. A 96.6. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. So, and we rose from over 40% from year to year, broke all the season ticket rail, and that goes directly toward these kids. A couple of things I don't think people talk about enough is they stick around after every home game, for 15 minutes at the very bare minimum. Some stay longer to sign autographs and take pictures and engage with our fans, and we do it every single home game. And it pays off over time. Kids want to come back. They want to get that picture. Maybe they didn't get Chelsea's picture this time, but they got Alexis's or Amber's or Michaela's or, Ginger's or whoever they want to come get. Well, the next time they want to come back and get somebody else's. So I think all of that stuff, Elvis Moya does a tremendous job with our marketing. DJ Derrick, I just talked to him the other day. Just the atmosphere that they have created on our game day experience. You get value from coming. If you can't come, listen to Phil on the radio or watch it. There's value. You can't come to every home game. I get it, but if you come once or twice, experiencing it live is really, really different. And I'm glad that you spoke to that because you're right, exactly. It was a great atmosphere all year long. It was building towards some success, and I can't wait till we get to host an NCAA tournament game here. I've already told Blair that his record of 14,000 is going down, and I can't wait till we can be a part of it.
Well, let's look ahead to next season. You got some talent coming back. Just speak a little bit on some of the talent returning and maybe some of the freshmen that could be potentially heading up to the Hill.
Well, you got to start with Jalen Mason first. Not enough people feel you can co-sign on this. You heard enough people. Nobody really talked about the fact that this kid was a 3-year starter, a 38-minute-a-night kid for us late in the year last year that didn't play one down for us. And we had a scrimmage game the last thing we did was this full game scrimmage. We divided teams up, had guest coaches and guest referees, and all Jalen did was drop 41 on us in that scrimmage. So she's not only back, but she's better than ever. All year this year, after she got healthy, she was able to be the other team's best player. So she got to be Kennedy Carter. She got to be Ryan Howard. She got to just play outside of her normal self, and she learned some things even that she wasn't even sure she could do. So she's going to be coming back in as another leader for us, leadership-wise and talent-wise. Then everybody else is just a year older. Aaron Barnum's a year older. Ginger Reese is no longer a freshman. Michaela Daniels stopped being a freshman at Christmas anyway, so that doesn't count as her coming back as a sophomore. But the true freshman coming in, with Alana Eaton just being named Arkansas Democratic Gazette Player of the Year. Excitement for her because she is the prototype for us. She is that wing player. She's going to add length to that spot. Shoots it, drives it, passes it, can defend. Just really a lot of high expectations. Desi McGee coming in from Alabama is going to give us some size around the basket. It's going to be a real problem for a lot of people to handle one-on-one. And then the fans are just going to fall in love with Riley Langerman from Oklahoma City. She's going to be somebody that does a little bit of everything. And her magnetism, just wait till all I'm going to say is wait for the fans to see her and get to know her. Be a crowd favorite when it comes to that. So the expectations will be incredibly high. They've already had some really, really way too early rankings that were pretty high in. And within the SEC, I think we're going to be picked to finish very, very high. And we're good with that. That's where we need to be going into year 4. And we have a couple of losses, and I'm okay to talk about them. Rokia Dumbia and IT Galden both have chosen to go play someplace else, and that's a healthy sign for us. That means there's a lot of competition going on in practice, and we're bringing in good recruits where 2 of our players who filled very valuable roles for us this year are looking to go do more someplace else, and we're helping them both find the best place for them so that they can live out their dreams and what their goals are. But it hasn't affected us and our plans here at all whatsoever.
Just have a couple more minutes here with Mike Neighbors, and we really enjoyed the Razorback Twitter account yesterday on April Fool's Day. But I was disappointed that they didn't grant my wish to put your head on Freddie Mercury performing at Live Aid. I'm sure you would have rather been Prince at the Super Bowl halftime show, but somebody asked you to be ZZ Top, and I thought that actually fit you.
If they would have put me up there singing Radio Gaga as Freddie Mercury, I might have had to screenshot that and print that off. That's for sure.
Oh, that'd have been phenomenal.
You would have had me to blame for it. Last thing before we let you go, and I asked you to get ready for this because I wanted to know, you're so good at this sort of stuff, and this is the kind of stuff we debate rather than basketball off the court.
Yeah.
Best sports hair all time. I went with Jaromir Jagr, former Penguin, and played for just about everybody. You could have, he had like a bird's nest for hair. What's your favorite sports hair?
Andre Agassi.
Ooh. Okay.
When he had the full flowing mullet lock with the headband. You need the headband around it just to give it. And that time when he was kind of in between, you didn't know whether he was going to win the U.S. Open or open for Duran Duran. You know, that hair was as good as I've seen. It could have been the opener for Duran Duran or served 25 aces in the U.S. Open. I don't know.
Yeah, you could have filled in for Rat playing guitar, my man.
Maybe. Probably better off in Poison or Cinderella, but, Rat was a little more hardcore. But you're exactly right, Phil.
Nabes, it's great talking with you, man. I hope everything's going well
brother.
for you and JC up there. And I'm thinking of you a lot. I wish we were still playing basketball right now, but I know come November, I hold out hope that we'll be back in November again.
Well, I hope the next time I see you, we've got darts in one hand and something else in the other.
You got it. Thanks so much, Mike.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
It's Mike Neighbors. He said he's got something going on the SEC Network today at 1:30 if you're looking for more fun with Mike Neighbors. And it's always fun with Mike, no matter what. It really is.
We got to make him a regular. Especially right now.
Well, that's right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he could be a talk show host at this time of the year.
Yeah,
it's absolutely perfect. He's the guy who doesn't need sports to host the sports talk show. And after 3 years traveling with him, we could do half a day of radio. I don't think that'd be a problem. 877-377-6963. Halftime's right back.
Only 10% of collision repair shops achieve ICAR Gold Class status, the highest training level recognized in the industry. Evans Body Shop is proud to be one of them. We know the latest repair techniques, how to find hidden damage, and repair your car's critical safety features so they work properly again. We invest in training because we would never cut corners with your family's safety at stake, and neither should you. Get your vehicle repaired at Evans Body Shop, where your safety is our top priority. Evans Body Shop, 412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Your locally owned Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street in Fort Smith will remain open during these unprecedented times. Takeout and curbside orders are available by calling 479-478-9600 or order online at joesfortsmith.com or use the Waiter app on your phone or tablet. Eat local with Joe's Grill and Cantina, 478-9600 or online at joesfortsmith.com. Joe's Grill and Cantina.
Knockouts Haircuts for Men is coming to Fort Smith. It's such a big deal, we brought in a real ring announcer to set the scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, armed with scissors, a pair of clippers, and if you're lucky, a smile, it's that same old hair place that takes your money and sends you on your way. But in this corner, Knockouts Haircuts for Men, where you get the best haircut of your life from one of the Knockout girls, a cold beer if you want it, and sports on every TV in the building.
Knockouts Haircuts for Men, opening soon in Fort Smith.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
We're now living in uncharted waters with the spread of COVID-19. With the partial closing of a lot of businesses, sadly, some will soon try and turn your possessions into their possessions. Guardtronic has been providing security for homes and businesses for over 60 years. Whether you need a camera system to keep an eye on things or a complete home security system, call Guardtronic 479-785-2323 or go online to guardtronic.com. We have so many worries these days, safety should not be one of them. License E50.
I'm Attorney General Leslie Rutledge, and you're watching the Rutledge Report. The governor declared a state of emergency.
Price gouging laws are now in effect. Businesses and individuals cannot charge 10% more than they did before. Bad actors will face criminal charges and a fine of up to $10,000 per item. Report price gouging to my office. At the Attorney General's office, we will do the fighting for you. Call us at 800-482-8982 or visit arkansasag.gov.
Cultivators of the cul-de-sac, run with us on a John Deere X370 Select Series lawn tractor, because yard work is about more than just mowing. It's about moments that last a lifetime, like when your daughter Emily has a shot at making wiffle ball history on her home turf. And that's why the X370 leaves nothing to chance, with one-touch mulch control technology and attachments for every season, so Emily can knock it out of the park. This is more than just grass. It's the stuff legends are made of. Nothing runs like a deer. Search John Deere X300 for more.
Spring is in the air, the toms are a goblin, and turkey season is almost here. Jelco Outdoors has all your turkey hunting supplies: box calls, mouth calls, pot calls, locator calls, decoys, vest, camo clothing, boots, shotguns, chokes, chairs, blinds, and lots of ammo. A great turkey hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors. This spring, shop local at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
This is ESPN 95.3. This is halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
6 seconds remain. Madden puts it up. Wow! What a finish! Bobby Portis, the magic man, arrives just in time. The tip in and zeros on the clock.
A little bit of a quick segment here to wrap up the hour. Don't forget Connor Noland joining us at 1:30 to discuss the end of the baseball season, what he's doing these days. I'm imagining he's back in Greenwood with the rest of the family. Hey, it's a Greenwood show today. That's Mike
really
Weaver's
is.
hometown. That's right. It is. It's all about Greenwood today here on Halftime.
Maybe that's what we need to start doing. Just like we'll highlight the great cities across Arkansas. Like we'll do a show about BB and like make it all about me.
Well, then you get to program that one.
That's fine.
SmackDown. You get to start. You can you do 2 full hours on BB Arkansas? Is this
yeah,
possible?
it's your dream hometown.
All right, we'll start. Give me a sales point.
Well, we're in,
other than the fact that now the local schooling isn't as good as it used to be because you're not teaching.
No, that's
there
fine.
Now.
The town made me. That's all you need to know.
It's good enough.
It's good enough.
It's
it made SmackDown.
I thought your parents did.
Well, technically
they had a part in it.
They had
too.
a very big part in that, but. Yeah, well, okay, fine. Yes.
I think you just convinced me to never step foot in the city of BB.
Oh no, BB's absolutely fantastic. It's a small town, very slow, it's a little small country town, but we've got a Walmart, we've got a McDonald's, we just got a Burger King, which actually that Burger King made the news. Let's see, that was when you remember when the truck exploded at the drive-thru?
It was there?
It was at BB. And it was bouncing everywhere on like Facebook and Twitter.
Was that a publicity stunt?
No, the dude. I can't remember. I think this was in the fall. It was during football season, I believe.
Some idiot was probably lighting matches under the truck. You know, you never know anybody that's done that before.
Oh no, I got you one better. So this guy, he was running a gas business or somebody. He had the filled propane tank in the back of his truck, and the propane tank was leaking. And I think he either lit a cigarette or he threw a lit cigarette out the window. And I guess it hit the back of the truck and fumes went everywhere. I'll send you the video in the break, but yeah, completely blew up. And yeah, it was, yeah. BB makes the news for the wrong reasons.
We've already done a full show about BB when your family called in.
That is true. Yes.
You had mom and dad and grandma call in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that was half the town, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got all of 6 people in BB.
That was our BB show. All right, so we've already done it. I guess that means we've got to center in on Jacksonville at some point, right, Matty T?
Oh, that's right. We could do hours and hours and hours on Jacksonville.
Yes, it's
the good or the bad of Jacksonville.
There's so much good. I mean, why would you even want to talk about anything bad?
Well, I mean, the Air Force Base is close by, right? I'm sure you could do a few hours on the Air Force Base.
I'm sure I could. I wasn't on it a lot, because it's for military members, so. But I didn't really get a lot.
They don't just let you wander onto it?
No, they don't. And I think it's even more difficult now.
I found that out in a very, not improper manner. A couple of years ago, Arkansas baseball opened the season in Columbia, South Carolina against the South Carolina Gamecocks. Well, they opened the SEC season. My parents lived there for 2.5 years. My father was in the Army in Fort Jackson. He was a captain of the Army. And I wanted to go look at some of the places that they used to tell me about on the Army base, right? So I take my rental car, drive to Fort Jackson. It's like 15 minutes away from the hotel. And when I come up to the gate, they asked for my military ID. And I was like, yeah, I don't have any. I said, well, you're not allowed on the base then. Well, didn't I feel like a complete idiot? They don't just let you wander onto military bases? What's going on in this country?
The only time I was able to go on is when I was delivering pizza when I was in my, late teens, early 20s, and I would have to go and get a pass and everything. And
are you not in your 20s?
I'm in my late 30s.
Oh, okay.
It would be a national emergency now if you were allowed onto a military base, Matty T. Batten the hatches down. Matty T is at the Little Rock Air Force Base. No! National emergency. Hey, we'll come back second hour right after this.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, Tommy here for Bobby Gregory and the team at Mr. Auto Glass. They've been around for 32 years, and there's a reason why. It's customer service. They take care of you no matter what your need, whether it's replacing the glass in your automobile, your truck, your bus, your heavy equipment, or repairing one of those nasty old rock chips you picked up driving down the road. They even offer mobile service on site right here in the River Valley. Most jobs completed the same day. Call Bobby and the team for your appointment. 782-4441. That's 782-4441 for Mr. Auto Glass.
The disruption due to the COVID-19 pandemic will not soon be forgotten. As a result, business practices are changing almost daily. At times like these, family means everything. Hey, I'm Drake Smith here for Pinnacle Telecom. If you're a customer of Pinnacle Telecom and need assistance during these challenging times, we are here for you. Call us at 479-242-0000 and give us an opportunity to help, because you are family, and family means everything. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
New construction and business remodeling is great, but it leaves a big mess, and job site cleanup is the final touch for any commercial construction or renovation project. When you need to put the finishing touch on your project, call your local Service Master Clean. From post-construction cleanup to everyday janitorial services, no job is too big or small. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087, or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Art's Barbecue and Burgers is still open, taking care of the community and keeping you safe. Art's Barbecue and Burgers at 8203 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith is taking care of their customers in the drive-thru, curbside pickup, or use the Waiter app and have it brought to you. Call 452-2550 and Art's will have your order ready. That's 452-2550. Eat local at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mostly cloudy sky tonight. An overnight low will drop down in the upper 40s to low 50s. More clouds and sunshine with an isolated shower or thunderstorm or high temperatures on Thursday into the low 70s. Widespread showers, a few thunderstorms with us on Thursday night, and showers and a few thunderstorms with us on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson. Make sure to listen to the Morning Rush every weekday morning from 6 to 9 on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Good station.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
These guys are awesome, baby. You can have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas? Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
You
want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour,
You're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it! He got it! He got it! Mason Jones banks in a 3 with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Second hour, halftime. Phil Elson, Matty T, Matt Smackdown Jenkins. Calls and texts are ready to go at 877-377-6963. We continue to wonder when professional sports will return. Anybody's best guess is really just a guess, throwing it up in the air and hoping it sticks to something, because nobody really is sure
will they
when
ever return?
It's going to stay. Yeah,
is society going to change so much that we're going to be afraid for even months after this is all over with to get in large groups again?
That's a decent question, Matty T. Maybe it all centers around getting that vaccine or enough tests where those who are infected can be quarantined for the appreciable amount of time. But as of right now, there's too many questions as to when we'll be able to regather in large groups. And again, I remember to hit on this the last few days. I think you will have games with no fans before anything else, because you're going to need these leagues, these teams, these broadcast partnerships that they have. They need to get games on television to bring money in, and it's going to start there. That's where it starts first. Also the questions about where will these games be played, because professional sports are legitimately a nationwide thing, and Major League Baseball and the NFL, it's not an East-West thing. These teams play against each other coast to coast. Potentially you could end up with, like take, for instance, the Seattle Mariners. You might not have large groups getting together in Seattle for a while. The teams in New York, they may have to play on neutral sites. And I think Major League Baseball is beginning to consider this. I know the NBA has kicked around the idea of playing the rest of the regular season and potentially the postseason at a central location. I think they've brought up Vegas as a thought of doing that. I know Major League Baseball, we should have had, this should be the second week of the regular season, and apparently they are considering July 4th as a potential opening day. This according to a report about the owners and the Players Association have agreed to consider the possibility of playing games in neutral locations. And that's what we're talking about. You probably won't be playing in New York, Seattle, Chicago, any of the California cities with fans for a while. So you may need neutral site locations that are close-ish, close by. Potentially Denver, Coors Field, maybe. Maybe Phoenix, or potentially some of the spring training locations in Phoenix. And according to CBS Sports, these are the stipulations in order for the Major League season to begin. One, no more bans on mass gatherings in place that would prevent games from being played in front of fans at the ballpark. So they do want fans at the ballpark, and apparently this is one of the stipulations. No relevant travel restrictions in the U.S. or Canada. And that medical experts, and this is the most important part, medical experts determined playing games would not present health risks for players or anybody else that is in the ballpark. But here's the other thing about this. And again, you see college administrators saying this. You can't just snap your fingers and boom, you have games. It takes a ramping up. And for college football, with no spring practice, you may have to condense whatever spring practice would have been into a fall camp and extend fall camp by a couple of weeks, and then maybe you can actually get the season started in September. And you've got to be careful about this because, you want to get the money spigot flowing for television contracts. You want to get content on television and on radio so that we've got things to get our minds off of this crazy situation we find ourselves in. But these games have to also be played by human beings with muscles and joints that snap or break or get overworked if they're not prepared properly. And right now, with college football players unable to access any of the facilities on campuses, I would find it highly unbelievable that they're able to stay in the shape that the coaches need them to be in to be ready to practice, real practice, at some point in the summer. And Major League Baseball players, even with all the money that they might have, it still is going to take a considerable amount of ramp-up time to get them ready to play baseball again. So you're going to need another spring training. So if you're looking at July 4th as the target date for the regular season to begin, for me, that means spring training begins again in June, in early June. I think you need about 3 to 4 weeks again to ramp things up and get it ready to go. And keep in mind, this is also not just Major League Baseball that wants to start playing. The minors want to start playing as well. And the Major League teams will want their prospects to be playing games too. So, and those are guys that don't have the money that Major League players have. Right. You know, I think it's considerably more difficult for minor league players to stay in shape than Major League players right now. So you're going to have them have the time necessary to get ready to play again. So, pay attention. These next couple of months are obviously extremely important for American society to be able to move forward and progress somehow through this crisis. Never mind sports. Yeah, sports needs these next 2 months. They need all of us to social distance, to stay inside as much as possible, and stay away from people when you're outdoors. If you want sports to come back, do those things, and then maybe, just maybe, we might be watching opening day on July 4th, which just sounds crazy, but I would take opening day whenever they can have it, as long as there is some semblance of a Major League Baseball season.
Opening day on Independence Day would be a marketing. It would be awesome just to see, like, opening day of baseball, Independence Day for the United States, and then just, I'm being very realistic. I mean, optimistic, excuse me. Maybe by that point, maybe it's not all the way behind us, this COVID-19 situation, but by then maybe it's on the downhill slide. And just maybe I'm going kind of overboard, but maybe like the pageantry, just everything that would go into opening day on a completely much higher scale on Independence Day with opening day of baseball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but like you said, it's going to come down to us to kind of do our part as citizens of this country to do what's right and hopefully get this thing behind us.
You know what would be the great moment? And it doesn't matter what city it's taking place in, what ballpark, what teams are playing, or even what the event is. You use the word pageantry. And opening day is, there's filled with pageantry. The red, white, and blue bunting out, parades. Yeah. Making sure that you try to play a day game for opening day, all that kind of stuff. But the moment that the teams line up on the baselines, or even if there is no Major League Baseball season, if there's NFL in September, if there's college football in September, the moment that we first hear the Star-Spangled Banner played before the first sporting event that is played, I think that's a moment that's going to hit us directly in the feels, like a kick to the groin, but in a good way.
You're 100% right.
It's something that's going to rattle your being to its absolute center. And I mean, look, I take it for granted. You go to a baseball game and the national anthem gets played. You stand up, you put your hand over your heart, you let the song do its thing, and then you sit. And maybe you applaud and hope that somebody doesn't sing it for 2.5 minutes and that they get all the words right, We take it for granted because the anthem is played before every single sporting event. High school, college, professionals. I don't think we're going to take that for granted again. And the first time we hear it, with a sporting event about to be played, I think that's going to be a national moment that none of us ever forgets.
Yeah. It's just, you could throw it on the scale of how the Olympians feel when, they're at the Olympics and they just won the gold medal for the country. When they hear that played, it's a great sign. That sounded weird. It's a great sign, but it's something that everybody would, like you said, remember for years and years and lifetimes and lifetimes.
It's odd, man. I'm used to calling sports from November through June. That's like 8 months of the national anthem being played in my ears, sometimes 5 times a week. I'm not saying this as a complaint. You take it for granted. I have not heard the Star-Spangled Banner since Arkansas's last baseball game, which was, 4 Wednesdays ago at Baum-Walker Stadium. I miss that song.
Yep.
I miss it. I've heard it played live thousands of times. And it right now, I miss sports. We got a little bit of a hole in our soul, and I miss hearing the Star Spangled Banner. I'm not gonna sing it in the next segment though. So stick around.
Oh, don't.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
We're talking with U.S. Reed here on the Morning Rush.
Texas coach was Abe Lemon. He was kind of like a big man in the conference, smoking a big cigar and always bragging. And Arkansas fans, they really enjoyed getting on him. After we won that game, Abe Lemon actually came into the dressing room with a hog hat on. It was crazy.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or stop by our location at the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, the sweetest fruits of life come from serving others. And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
Your locally owned Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street in Fort Smith will remain open during these unprecedented times. Takeout and curbside orders are available by calling 479-478-9600 or order online at joesfortsmith.com or use the Waiter app on your phone or tablet. Eat local with Joe's Grill and Cantina, 478-9600 or online at joesfortsmith.com. Joe's Grill and Cantina.
Protect tender spring plants with Green Thumb Premium Color Mulch from Metters Lumber True Value. Right now, any 5 bags are just $15 while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value. The 2 cubic foot bags come in your choice of red, black, or brown. This attractive mulch acts as a natural weed barrier and helps retain moisture. Pick up this spring bargain of the month today while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value. 218 Commerce Drive in Alma. Family owned and serving you for more than 75 years. That's Metters Lumber True Value.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine and Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Shot clock's at 10. Jones forces a 3, and it goes anyway. Wow, Mason Jones with a 3. Arkansas is up 67-62. Archie Miller wants a timeout with 2:01 to go.
Back on halftime here, ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Smackdown Jenkins, and Matty T. So I am told Maybe you're seeing on Razorback Baseball's Twitter feed that we have been trying to get some folks to send us some stuff to get me to do some play-by-play. We've had a couple of them out there, and I was informed that I sound like somebody. I think everybody here knows. SmackDown, you have seen the movie A Christmas Story, correct?
It's a Christmas classic in my family.
It sure is, and I love this movie.
They only show it for 24 hours straight every single year.
Right, so everybody has seen it by now, right? All right, so let's do a little comparison. This was the tweet that Razorback Baseball put out yesterday. It is of a father and daughter attempting to make 51 rallies during a little ping pong display down in the basement. I don't know if I sound like Gene Shepard, but let's see.
We're going for a basement house record 51 at the Carry and Play Tiny Table Tennis Top Table. And the pressure is on. It's back. It's fourth. It's back. It's fourth. What concentration? What belief? What skill? Look at the stiffness of the wrist with each paddle tap. Fantastic form shown on both sides here. It's what basement sports is all about. This is teamwork on an entirely new level. What an amazing show of stick-to-itiveness. Oh, it looks like we're beginning to feel the pressure. Watch out for a possible sneeze. Okay, that appeared to go away quickly. We're within 10 now. It's back. It's fourth. It's back. It's fourth. And we have a winner! 51 smackaroos. Hugs from Mom. Dad wants a high five. Pizza party for everyone. Don't leave Dad hanging. He's paying for the pizza.
All right, so let's put that together with this.
There it is. The holy grail of Christmas gifts. The Red Ryder 200-shot range model air rifle.
Ralphie, what would you like for Christmas?
Horrified, I heard myself blurt it out.
I want an official Red Ryder Carbine Action 200-shot range model air rifle. What I want for Christmas is a Red Ryder BB gun with a compass and a stock and this thing which tells time. Wow, that's great.
Do you think I sound like him?
Absolutely, because the inflection is what it is. You're doing a similar thing like where with kind of the lows and these. I can't do it. But there's definitely it's with the inflection that I recognize the similarity.
I think what we need is we need to get the transcript off of the Christmas Story, and then
you read it.
Then you read the Christmas Story.
You want me to do my best to sound like him?
Or no, just read it as you would.
As me.
Just as you, and that's going to be the determining factor of this whole thing.
All right, so this sounds like a radio bit for tomorrow, or
yes.
maybe early next week, as we continue to find ways to do sports radio with no sports.
Do you think subconsciously you may have been influenced by Gene Shepard and not even have known it?
I never even thought about it. Never thought about it.
I mean, you grew up with the movie too, so
Absolutely.
Maybe it was just ingrained with you so much that it found its way into your delivery.
Here it was all these years. I thought that maybe there was a little bit of like Lanny Fratteri, the former Pirates voice in me, or a little Mike Lang, the Penguins radio voice in me, or a little bit of the Yankees announcer Sterling. But no, here it is. All these years, I was really just trying to be a Christmas Story, and say you'll shoot your eye out. You guys figured it out. You figured me out. All it took you, SmackDown and Matty T, was a month and a half. Well done.
That's
well
fantastic. Done. Yeah, we need to bookmark this and save that for another week when we're having the Christmas blues and we just need snow, and then we'll just we're going to get Phil.
We can make sure to drink our Ovaltine.
I really somebody needs to write me a new movie. They need to write me a movie called A Hanukkah Story, because that's the one that I celebrate. I'm fine doing a Christmas story if that's all we have, but
hey, we got nothing but time, brother.
Did you ever see
about
Eight
that.
Crazy Nights, the animated Adam Sandler movie?
No, but I know the song.
Yeah.
I know the song well enough.
Oh yeah, it's got all new original Adam Sandler songs in it too.
So what does Razorback Baseball put out today? Do they have another one of these today? Because we did like 4 or 5 of them. No, they don't have a new one out today. Although, I'll tell you what, the Razorback Twitter account had a lot of fun yesterday on April Fools, didn't they? And I think I appreciated all of this stuff that they did. It was fun. So you were supposed to put in a request of a famous either Arkansas athlete or coach in a famous photo. And they did grant one of my requests.
They did.
I put in a lot of requests, by the way. I had one request of Dave Van Horn parting the Red Sea. I had another one of Matt Hobbs and Nate Thompson as Shakira and J-Lo from this past Super Bowl halftime show. You know the shot I'm talking about when they're wiggling their butts? That, to me, would have been perfect for the top assistant coaches for Arkansas baseball.
They were also singing, too, though.
What was the other one I had? Oh, yeah, Mike Neighbors as Freddie Mercury during Live Aid. They didn't go with either of those, but they did put Bubba Carpenter and Carson Shaddy as the stars of the famous American painting, American Gothic. And Carson was the wife. Bubba was the man with the pitchfork. And I don't know if I've ever been prouder.
Have you seen it, Maddie T?
No, but I'm familiar with the classic picture. Let me see this.
You know the
That's
picture.
That's pretty good, yes.
Yeah.
Like, some of the work that these Photoshop guys are doing with they were fantastic.
What does a bored, large athletic department do when there's no sports? Well, April Fool's Day is a godsend. It's like every day should be April Fool's Day. Here's one as Arkansas baseball and the softball teams as the Sandlot players.
Yes,
that's terrific. That's a really good one. I like seeing Corliss Williamson with his head on Godzilla. That was a really good one. The one of Nabes as ZZ Top I thought was really good too. And apparently, like Barstool Sports Arkansas got all ticked off that they didn't put Barstool UA into the photo with Eric Musselman's family, and all they did was put Barstool Big Cat up there instead. All of these were good. They got Dave Van Horn's head on a goat. I think that's an easy one to do.
Oh, yeah.
You had the women's basketball team signing the Declaration of Dependence, and the great look on Amber Ramirez's face is like, yeah, King George, that's right. We're signing this thing right now. What you going to do about it?
I think the one that got a lot of the talk this morning, we talked about on the Morning Rush, was Ryan Mallett holding the Scantron.
And that's the one that you would think, somebody in the athletic department had their finger over the tweet button for like 2 minutes. Am I really going to send this one out? Is this really
my job
the one?
Safe?
How about John L. Smith's head on Bobby Petrino's neck, wearing the neck brace and the Sugar Bowl hat?
Yes, that would have been a good one.
Is it too early for fun like that?
No, Lord, no.
I guess not. So you got to do something to kick things around a little bit here.
I saw that tweet come across. I was like, oh, because that's something that you really don't see off of like a professional Twitter account like that. Was, oh, they just turn off all the rules today.
And it's really funny here because what do you call the summertime when you're doing a sports radio show that focuses on college sports? It's called Rushmore season. Because we're all, it's like, here's the Mount Rushmore of this. Who's the Mount Rushmore of that? Well, yesterday, they had an Arkansas Razorback Mount Rushmore. Who's on your Arkansas Mount Rushmore SmackDown? Because the ones they have here, I think, are fairly easy selections, so I wonder if you've got any of these four.
I would easily pick those four, hands down.
So you've got Dave Van Horn, Frank Broyles, John McDonnell, and Nolan Richardson. It works. It's all the great coaches.
Yeah.
Which athletes would go on the Mount Rushmore here?
Ooh.
So it's like, this takes a while to think.
Yeah. Well, see, my problem is I'm young, so I know of the old school greats, but mine's going to be probably a lot more of like what I've seen.
I feel like you have to have one from, you can't have a bunch of football players out there. Or just
I would go Corliss. Oh man, D-Mac.
We need a gymnastics person.
Benintendi,
and then probably.
This is a tough one.
Maybe
Paul Eels. You want to put a broadcaster up there?
Paul Eels is in his own category. If you're going just players, I would probably throw Sidney Moncrief in there.
Okay.
Paul Eels gets like his own monument, like the Lincoln Memorial.
Yes.
That's a good one. We're gonna have maybe we can at some point use every memorial on the National Mall to figure out all great Razorback moments here.
Who would be your Mount Rushmore players?
I'd go with Corliss. I can't see how you don't have Darren McFadden on that.
You can't. Yeah.
If I'm gonna go aside from Benintendi, maybe like Kevin McReynolds, and let me think of. Man. Well, Robert in Fort Smith has dialed in. Maybe Robert's got a good Mount Rushmore here. Robert, good to hear you again. What's up?
Hey, guys. I don't really have one of them, but you brought up something close to me. I would like that y'all do have so much time. What about a day with just Paul, not just, but Paul Eel call?
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Eel, some of his calls. like, the best one, Sterner to Lucas.
Yeah, hey, take your pick. You could have that one. There's the Miracle on Markham. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, these are calls that live on in lore.
I just was able to listen to him. Y'all brought it up just now. So anyway, that's just something I just thought I'd throw at y'all real quick. Maybe we could hear one every once in a while. See you guys.
Yeah, you got it, Robert. I think it'd be good for some comebacks because we don't have any play-by-play from current games.
Yeah,
get some of the classic calls from Chuck doing baseball, and you get some stuff from Paul, some Mike Nail calls, and maybe sprinkle in one of me every once in a while. I don't know, to feed my ego.
I'll put this on the to-do list.
It works. You got a large to-do list, don't you, Smack?
I really do. It keeps growing every day.
Got a couple people texting in. They think Mike Conley belongs on the Mount Rushmore of Arkansas athletics. I think that's a good one too. Hey, maybe you got to chisel in a fifth head, right? It's difficult to just choose 4. Let's add another one to Mount Rushmore, okay? And make it 5 instead of just 4. Connor Noland coming up after the break. Arkansas right-handed pitcher, former quarterback. See what he's doing during quarantine. Halftime back after this.
New Bud Light Seltzer, huh?
Yep.
And it tastes like a hard seltzer, not a beer?
Yep.
So it's light and refreshing?
Yep.
With a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
And 100 calories?
Yep.
You said this is Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
Well, I need to try it.
Yep.
Oh, that tastes great.
Yep.
Now, wait, are you just yupping me?
Nope.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
Your locally owned Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street in Fort Smith will remain open during these unprecedented times. Takeout and curbside orders are available by calling 479-478-9600 or order online at joesfortsmith.com or use the Waiter app on your phone or tablet. Eat local with Joe's Grill and Cantina, 478-9600 or online at joesfortsmith.com. Joe's Grill and Cantina.
A heart in my tasty Honey Nut Cheerios? Cereal, you trying to tell me you love me?
Actually, it's reminding you that it can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
Wait! They can help lower cholesterol? I've been so focused on the sweet, tasty taste that I completely forgot. Now I'm in love.
Learn more about making Honey Nut Cheerios part of your heart-healthy lifestyle by picking up a box at your local grocery store.
Isaac, you missed the winning dunk and cost your team the championship. What are your thoughts?
Well, I switched to Boost Mobile and got a super fast network and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones, so even when we lose, I still win.
It was an easy, fast break, and no one was near you.
You know what's fast? Boost Mobile's super fast network.
They're calling your shot the greatest miss in history.
Boost Mobile's prices are never a miss. I even get 4 lines for $25 per line per month.
Oh, look at that. The fans are burning your jersey.
Yep, the fans get it. My Boost Mobile network is en fuego.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get 4 lines for $25 per line per month with unlimited data and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones, all on our super reliable, super fast network. Step up with Boost Mobile. New customers only. Limited time offer while supplies last. Requires 1 port from eligible carrier and activation. 1 free device per line. Customers who use more than 35 gigabytes of data during a billing cycle will be deprioritized during times of network congestion. Offers and coverage not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com or retailer for full details.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Baseline drive. Sills feeds Joe left corner. Step back. 3 on the way from Isaiah. Perfect. Nothing but the bottom for Joe. And the Hogs are up 45-28.
I've been saying he's the best shooter in the country.
So let's see. Arkansas baseball hasn't played since a Wednesday night tilt against Grand Canyon. 2 days after that, they were supposed to be in Starkville, Mississippi against the Bulldogs. And, this guy wasn't going to pitch. That's right. Connor Noland was going to pitch the second game of that series, coming back from an oblique injury. Connor joins us right now on halftime. And, Connor, good to hear your voice, man. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. Good to hear from you too.
Absolutely. What are you killing time with these days? What are your days like? Because none of our days are what we would have expected.
I know it's a lot different. I mean, obviously school, doing online school, and then just trying to stay in baseball shape. Obviously, we're not doing anything with team right now, but just working out still and trying to throw as much as I can with all the social distancing and staying inside.
Yeah, I mean, how do you? We're told, sharing a baseball could be a little bit dangerous. Is that something you think about much when you're? Because if you're, the only way a pitcher stays in shape is to continue throwing a baseball. Do you ever get nervous?
I mean, not too bad. Obviously, taking precautions. I bring a Lysol wipes and kind of doing overboard with it. But I throw into a net a lot, so that's kind of I guess a different way of doing it. Don't throw at somebody; you can throw it to a net.
Yeah, would feel a little weird wiping a baseball down with an antiseptic wipe before you throw it. Something tells me it might get in the way of having a good grip.
It does a little bit, but you get used to it pretty quick.
So I'm not sure quite how to start here. So I took the cancellation of the season very hard, and I was in that meeting that Coach Van Horn had with you and all your teammates and the rest of the coaches, and I wondered if it hit you in that meeting or if it took a little more time before you realized that all the work that was put into this season would go for naught. When did it hit home with you that the baseball season would end a lot earlier than it should have?
It was probably later that day. I mean, you meet with all the guys and you have all the seniors there. You're not really thinking about it, but that's probably the last time you see those guys for a while. So, you're saying your goodbyes, but you don't really understand that that's the last time you'll see them for, like a year and maybe more. So it was a hard thing, but I think most of us saw it coming. Cancellation of season and not being around the guys anymore. So it was definitely an interesting meeting, but here we are today.
And I think fans miss the games. I miss calling the games. But when you hear the student athletes or just athletes overall or even the coaches, I've heard Dave Van Horn interviewed a few places. You miss the competition. You miss the game itself. You miss the sounds and the smells. But I have a sense that more than anything, you miss the camaraderie of a clubhouse and of being part of a team, part of something that's larger than yourself. And all sports are like that. I think baseball is like that, maybe a little more than some others because you're always around these guys day in, day out, and the day-to-day nature of the sport. So, while you're home, I'm assuming that you have to miss being around your guys, maybe more than anything else.
Of course. I mean, it's been the first semester of school, hanging out with them and, getting to know the freshmen and, really building relationships with them and, integrating them into the program. So, I mean, it's a lot different not being around them. And obviously the guys are going to get drafted and not come back. And then, seniors, depending if they come back or not. It's definitely a lot different. Miss being around them and just, playing baseball.
Speaking to Connor Noland here on halftime, Connor, we kind of touched on it at the beginning. How's the oblique injury coming along? Are we fully healthy, kind of starting to get back to just a normal routine?
Yeah, so I've been fully healthy for a while.
Sweet.
I mean, I was going to throw against Mississippi State, and I felt 100% then, so feeling a lot stronger now.
Awesome. I want to get your thoughts on all the news that's been coming out with the MLB draft, possibly getting shortened to no less than 5 rounds, probably around maybe the 10, 15, 20-round range. Just what was your initial thoughts with everything that's been coming out with the MLB draft and kind of how it's going to possibly be shaped this year?
It's definitely interesting. I mean, they have a lot of factors going into it. Obviously, they don't have a lot of revenue right now with baseball being shut down, so I understand it from a financial aspect, but I feel bad for some of these guys that were 10 to 40 round guys, not getting that opportunity to get a little bit more money. I mean, I think it's 20 grand is the cap for undrafted guys. So feel bad for them, and hope to see them back in college baseball next year.
And seeing these guys back in baseball next year, we've also got the news of the added year of eligibility for spring sport athletes. You not being a senior, kind of having that, you have some wiggle room now as far as with that extra year of eligibility. Just talk a little bit about having that extra year in your back pocket as you move forward as a Razorback.
It's very useful. I mean, I really appreciate the NCAA taking care of us in that aspect. And I mean, obviously, I'm going to come back next year and still be a sophomore, so it's kind of crazy to think about. I'd be 21 years old and a sophomore, so it's definitely good for my leverage. And I could be 25 still playing for the Razorbacks.
Wow, I didn't even think about it that way, but you're right. You're right. Connor, where do you think you improved as a pitcher from your freshman year to your sophomore year? Because everybody wants to talk about velocity and what you add to pitches. I think a lot of times what you improve upon from one year to the next is just growing as a pitcher, mentally, emotionally. And I thought I might have seen that in you from the first year to the second year. But where do you think you improved most as a pitcher?
I think just knowing the game. I mean, obviously my freshman year I was just out there throwing the ball. And, this year I really started to put it together and know how to strike people out and know what I'm trying to do with pitches and just knowing the game better overall. And that really changed it. And it gave me a different aspect and how to, throw each pitch and approach the game. So it helped me out a lot and, definitely made me feel more confident out there.
Have you been able to stay in touch with any of your coaches, with Coach Van Horn or Matt Hobbs and your teammates? Are you guys staying in touch at all? I know because David said, you'd hoped at some point that the team would be allowed to come together again and at least, train, even if there's not going to be a season, and get the guys who are draft eligible ready for the draft and get guys who are going to go play summer ball ready for summer ball. We don't know if that's going to happen or not. Hopefully it will. But between now and then, do you stay in touch with your teammates and your coaches?
Yes, we've been staying in touch. I mean, obviously players, we talk all the time. And here and there with the coaches, just making sure we're still working out and staying on track for if summer ball does come up and we go to play there. So we've definitely been staying in contact and, just trying to keep a normal routine.
Yeah, so you are hoping to play summer ball, right?
I mean, I hope we can play, but at this point I think it's really a long shot to play.
Okay, well, I hope you're wrong, but again, I don't think anybody's got any extra information. We just end up either hoping or being skeptical about it. I want to finish on thoughts about what this year's team was like, and I get questions, about people ask, do you think the team was turning the corner because they won 4 straight going in it? I say, I'm not quite sure because I don't think rubber meets the road until you start playing SEC teams. So, I mean, there were some signs. But what did you think this team could have done during the SEC schedule, even with some of the struggles, the couple of weeks before that, and knowing this was a team that was going to score runs? Where did you think this team could have maxed out?
I think, obviously, at the beginning of the year, everybody said we had the best offense in the country, had a lot of firepower in offense, and I think you saw it in spurts. I think they're just trying to hit their stride, and, once we get into SEC play, everybody elevates their game. So I think, the sky's the limit for the offensive side, and our pitching staff has really come together. Some of the young guys are starting to really throw the ball well and show what they could do. So, I think you're looking at a really good team in SEC that's going to be hard to beat on the road, too.
All right, before we let you go, and you got about 30 seconds here for an answer, because I know you pitched to him in some of the scrimmages. What is it like to pitch to Heston Kjerstad?
It's tough. He's an amazing hitter, a lot of power to both sides. You just got to get lucky, honestly.
Did you strike him out ever?
Oh, he's never got a hit off me, actually. But well, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
That's a feather in your pocket, no doubt, Connor. I don't think there's a doubt about that.
I'll take it.
Connor, appreciate you joining us. I wish I was watching you pitch this weekend, but I know next season I fully plan on watching you pitch next year and talking about it. Good luck out there, staying healthy and everything, and we'll be thinking about you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
you got it. Connor Noland, former Razorback quarterback and current Arkansas right-handed pitcher.
Dropping bombs.
That's right. Well, I was dropping bombs, the reverse of bombs, striking them out, getting cursed at without allowing any hits. That's the opposite of dropping bombs. We've got halftime homework to close out the show after the break. Stick around on halftime.
Spring is in the air, and crappie fishing is firing up. Jelco Outdoors has all your crappie fishing gear by Beaver Bottom Baits, Timmy Tom's, K9 Fishing, Bobby Garland, and Bonehead Baits. New crappie rods by Todd Huckabee and Ascension, plus all your fishing needs. This spring, think Jelco Outdoors for all your fishing gear. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Hey everyone, this is Scott at Calico County, and the coronavirus has disrupted everyone's schedule, and Easter is no exception. Our churches will be closed, and the restaurants will too. So Calico County is offering Easter family meals that can be picked up on Saturday, April 11th to be enjoyed on Easter Sunday. So go to our website, calicocounty.net, and our Facebook page to see all the details. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Telephone and internet services have never been more critical than now. This is Drake Smith with Pinnacle Telecom letting you know that our company has invested millions of dollars in this area to build the finest network available for times just like this. More importantly, we employ the best and brightest technicians to make sure the network performs to your expectations. Come join our family and rest in the security we offer our Pinnacle family members. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
We're now living in uncharted waters with the spread of COVID-19. With the partial closing of a lot of businesses, sadly, some will soon try and turn your possessions into their possessions. Guardtronic has been providing security for homes and businesses for over 60 years. Whether you need a camera system to keep an eye on things or a complete home security system, call Guardtronic 479-785-2323 or go online to guardtronic.com. We have so many worries these days, safety should not be one of them. License E50.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
The Arkansas Attorney General warns Arkansans to be aware of scammers impersonating government officials calling or emailing about COVID-19 economic stimulus package eligibility. The AG tells people to only rely on official government websites for economic relief information. Never get personal information over the phone or by email. The U.S. government will not be contacting you to determine your eligibility for the stimulus package. If you are contacted by a potential scammer, call the Arkansas AG at 800-482-8982 or visit the arkansasag.gov website.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Stewart's open. Stewart. One on the shot clock. Thurman beat it. Oh! He got it! Three-pointer!
Been a good show today. I've enjoyed these last 3 weeks as much as you possibly can with no sports to talk about. Appreciate everybody at ESPN Arkansas for all of their hard work. Our sales staff, Tommy Kraft, of course, runs the whole thing. Ty, SmackDown, Matty T, Andy Hodges up there in Fayetteville getting all of the teleconferences up on hitthatline.com. We continue to pepper you with fun things.
That's
even
right,
though there are no sports.
And there are no sports, but this weekend we're going to be playing some of these classic Razorback games. We got a basketball game and a football game. Do you know we're going to be doing it tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday?
Really?
Times, yeah.
Ooh,
outstanding.
Do you know which one of them is the Seton Hall?
Seton Hall
game?
from 2017.
I think they're going to replay the famous Hunter Henry heave football broadcast from Ole Miss from a few years ago.
Interesting.
So tomorrow from 6 to 9 we'll have those starting first with the Seton Hall game, and then we'll replay that
6 to 9 p.m.
6 to 9 p.m. Yes.
We're not knocking off the morning rush.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Okay.
That's good. They're going to have to get some baseball stuff, too, once we get later into April. It's some fun moments in baseball as well.
What would you want? Like, what would be the one game you'd want to hear? I mean, this is more geared towards you, but like
coming for the whole damn thing game.
Well, yeah, maybe that one, but that really wasn't like a great game.
Just a great call.
They just crushed Ole Miss 13-1. I like the game in Omaha from 2018 where Arkansas beat Florida to go to the College World Series Finals. That was a good one. That was a tighter game, and the end, the final call was pretty good too. So I mean, this is great that Learfield IMG is going to replay some of these classic broadcasts because it will. I don't know if it's going to satiate your hunger for Arkansas sports necessarily, but it'll bring back some of the good memories.
Absolutely,
put a smile on your face, and also might help keep our some of our sponsors happy, so that you can keep things running here.
Yes.
as we continue to move through a very difficult time. All right, let's close out the show on a Thursday with halftime homework.
I don't trust this kid any further than I can throw him.
I got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Get out of my class. Out! Get out!
I was still thinking of going back to school.
It's just a movie from the 80s.
I am dangerous.
The millennial versus the middle-aged. It's time for halftime homework.
All right, I'm going to start with a little class on Chicago sports that's going to draw a line between two teams that you didn't think it would. So it is a sad day in Chicago because former Chicago White Sox pitcher and longtime White Sox broadcaster Ed Farmer passed away last night at the age of 70. Farmer had a great life that included growing up on the south side of Chicago, being drafted by the Cleveland Indians in 1967, a 12-year Major League career that included 3 seasons with the White Sox. He used to tell a story of going to his first White Sox game at Comiskey and informing his mother that he was going to pitch there, and sure enough he did. Was an all-star with the White Sox in 1980, saved 30 games. He had a 370-game career record with 30 wins, 43 losses, and 75 saves. This is what Ed Farmer sounded like calling Mark Buehrle's final out of his perfect game.
The 2-1 to Bartlett. Swing shot to short. Ramirez has it. Throws. Burley picks a perfect game. His second no-hitter. He no-hits the Tampa Bay Rays. People going crazy here at U.S. Cellular. Tag, bag, light it up.
Great stuff from Ed Farmer, who really was a terrific broadcaster and a very good pitcher at the same time. Now, here's where the line gets drawn that you didn't expect. Ed Farmer was drafted by the Cleveland Indians in 1967 by a very famous Major League Baseball scout who you are going to see quite a bit about during the upcoming ESPN documentary that focuses on the Chicago Bulls last season with Michael Jordan as in The Last Dance. Let me give you a little info here. This hint is going to tell you who signed Ed Farmer as a baseball scout.
You know, Jerry Krause is right there, and Jerry's not here. Obviously, I don't know who invited him. I didn't, but I hope he understands. I hope he understands it goes a long way, and he was a very competitive person. I was a very competitive person. He said organization wins championships. I said, I didn't see organization playing with the flu in Utah. I didn't see him playing with the bad ankle.
Okay, so you know who that is, SmackDown, right?
I do.
That's Michael Jordan during his famous Hall of Fame spite speech in 2009. The famous scout that signed Ed Farmer was Jerry Krause.
Oh, wow.
He was a baseball guy before he was a basketball guy.
Huh.
And after he left basketball, and he had a long-term relationship, obviously, with Jerry Reinsdorf, who continues to own the Chicago White Sox and the Bulls. And when he left the Bulls, he got back into baseball. And we used to see Jerry Krause, Old Crumbs, as he was known, at Traveler games in Little Rock. He would come scout for the New York Mets. And sure enough, he had some Bulls championship rings on that hand. And sure enough, he had some crumbs on his shirt. So he was fun to talk to. He was a very nice man. And I tried talking more baseball with him than basketball. But it was a shocking thing when you saw Jerry Krause at the baseball park and you say, this is the guy who built the Bulls. This is the guy who Michael Jordan and all those guys hated. And won games out of spite against him. But he was a baseball guy first and foremost. And I thought that
that's awesome.
Might teach you a little bit about that. So
that's
you got
cool.
something you want to teach me about today, though.
It's WrestleMania week. And it's more just I want to see where you and Matty T's wrestling knowledge is. So what I've done, and it's WrestleMania week, and despite everything that's going on, I'm still going to try to sit back and enjoy that on Saturday and Sunday night because
you're making it a 2-night event.
It's a 2-night event, Matty T.
Got to stretch programming out these days, didn't you know?
Yeah, really do. So 2 nights of WrestleMania, it's going to be fantastic. So I've got you 4, and I did old school guys.
Good.
Just because I'm sure y'all aren't as familiar with the new school guys.
It's like the only ones I know.
So what I've got, we've got about 5 minutes left of the show. I'll just go as long as I can. So I'll read you the promo of them talking. You tell me the wrestler, and then I'll play the actual promo just to see if you can
just jump in.
Just jump in whatever you want. Maddie, pick a number 1, 2, 3, or 4.
3.
3. The first thing, of course, you picked this one. The first thing I want to be done is to get that piece of crap out of my ring. Don't just get him out of the ring, get him out of the entire WWF because I've proved, son, without a shadow of a doubt, you ain't got what it takes anymore.
Stone Cold.
That is Stone Cold. Steve Austin.
The first thing I want to be done is to get that piece of crap out of my ring. Don't just get him out of the ring, get him out of the WWF. Because I've proved, son, without a shadow of a doubt, you ain't got what it takes anymore. You sit there and you thump your Bible and you say your prayers, and it didn't get you anywhere. Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
Now, who was he talking to?
So he was talking, I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head.
You know what gave it away is Son. And I can immediately picture him.
So that's what made Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, that's what took him to the other level, and that's where the whole Austin 3:16 came from. Did you learn something right there?
I did learn something right there.
All right.
I had no idea.
We'll go with this one. You should get this one, Phil. I'm talking about all the way to the top. I'm justifiably in a position I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
That would be Macho Man Savage.
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah. Macho Madness, yeah, has got more to offer than President Jack Tunney thinks that I got. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something right now. Cards stacked against the Macho Man Randy Savage in WrestleMania 3.
Can you imagine what it was like when he was like reading his kids' books, to go to bed at night?
Reading Dr. Seuss.
The little drain that could. I think I can. I think I can.
The moon is made of green cheese. Oh, yeah. Who's this?
Good night,
You're
Moon.
going to have me here this week. This week, you have the opportunity of seeing someone, a very, very special guest, my particular favorite wrestler, a man that supersedes everything that you could ever think of beyond wrestling, beyond anything he wants to do, the most intelligent man that I have ever met in my entire life. A man who takes things into his own hands, a man who gets things done. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you at this time, myself.
Do you know who this is?
That sounded like Was that Ric Flair?
That's Rowdy Roddy Piper hosting Piper's
it sounded
Pit.
like Ric Flair for a second. Well, all right, I gave that one away. Here's the famous Ric Flair.
Get ready. Woo! We on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now, Buddy Landell, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilt liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
I can't. I don't have a falsetto anymore. I can't even do the Ric Flair woo.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have that height on my voice
You just need the bass
anymore.
in your voice. The woo! Woo! There you go.
I heard it all baseball season long at Razorback games. I got tired of it. Now I miss hearing it. Fun stuff today, guys. Appreciate you. Tomorrow we've got Bob Holt and Aaron Torres for a fun-filled Friday of non-sports radio. For Matty T, for SmackDown, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, get better.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for